My name is Sara Watkins. I have lived in Guntersville for about 9 years, and I work as a journalist at the Advertiser Gleam. So I know that my parents liked Rick Nelson, and they remember his music, and they remember him on the Ozzie and Harriet show. But I first heard about him when I came to Guntersville and heard the story of how he played here his last concert and then unfortunately did not make it to his next location. Well, I probably learned it before I started working at the Advertiser Gleam. It's a big story in Guntersville. A lot of people still talk about it. A lot of people who live here, who I've met since I've lived here, came to this show and saw him and will tell their stories about that night. And maybe they had a connection to Rick in some other way. And I know he was very well connected with Pat Upton, who is from here, and his family still lives here.
Rick played 2 shows at PJ's Alley. What do you know about those shows from those who attended?
I've just heard that it was amazing, that he was very good looking, and everyone, I've heard some ladies tell me, this could have even been at church, they've told me before that they got to, where they were right in the front and they got to reach out and touch his hand, and they're just so excited or he looked at them or whatever. So I've heard he did a great job, and they were really fun shows.
Do you know the story of the boa constrictor in the amp?
So I know the story because I found it at the Gleam in one of our old archival articles that I looked into and did some research, and it was at the bottom of a front page, and I happened to see it and read it, and I think the story is that they think that the boa constrictor got in the amp and flew over here and froze on the way over, and then when they got here and played the concert, there was a smell. They couldn't figure out what it was. And they, I guess, ultimately found that it was a dead boa constrictor in the amp.
What sort of impact do you feel Rick's visit left on the town? Any stories that you heard of his time here?
Yeah, I feel like it made a huge impact because, like I said, we moved here in, I think, 2016, and I've heard about it pretty much from the first day we moved here. So I think it made a big impact. It's huge for this community. He was a very famous musician, a well-loved musician and a person, and he was very good friends with Pat Upton, who lived here, and his family. So I think the impact was great that he made on Guntersville, and then, of course, unfortunately, how his show ended and how his life ended is directly connected to Guntersville and always will be. The story of he played here his last show or shows, I've learned that he had 2 shows here, and then never made it to his final destination in Texas, or actually I've come to learn he did make it, and he passed away. But I imagine it was major shock, sadness. I imagine it was not something that was just yesterday's news the next day. I'm sure, as I've said, it's stuck around for a long time. The stories have stuck around for a long time, and his presence here in Guntersville, his connection to Guntersville has really, really stuck around for a really long time. A really good guy, a really good musician, very good looking, and charismatic, and that he really loved his family and his friends. And the people that he played with in his bands and the musicians that he played with, it sounds like he was a really good friend and really loved the people he encountered. And from what I hear, he really liked Guntersville and had planned to come back for more shows.